Why do the #1 archers in the world choose the proven brands of True Ball Release and Excel Sights? Because they want to win.
I will prevail.
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 And welcome back to the Lancaster Archery Classic. This is Chuck Cooley alongside Teresa Johnson. We are at the True Ball XL Archery Hall at Spooky Nook Sports Complex just outside of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This is the Hoyt live stream of the Classic, and we want to welcome, of course, our Blue Ridge Cable Communications customers here in Lancaster County for watching this. We're about ready to tune into the men's professional finals, and who you'll see up first here is Logan Wilde versus Shane Wills. Logan Wilde is the one that's closest to you on the screen right there in the blue shirt with a big E. Shane Wills is the man right behind him in the black and red, shooting for Team PSE. These gentlemen are professional archers. Shane, on the left-hand side of your screen there, has actually won this event before.
Logan's a top shooter, Chuck, and part of an archery dynasty, the Wilde family. We can't, at all understate their impact on the sport of archery. Father D, yesterday's champion, I believe, in the senior division, and his brother Rio, one of the most accomplished archers in the world. This is an archery family at the very highest levels of the sport. And Logan also working for Elite, the company he shoots for, the parent company, the outdoor group. Logan opens up with a strong 11 to start this match off. Let's see what Shane answers with. Boom, Shane hits the 11 to answer. This is going to be a good match, Chuck.
Yeah, this is going to be an excellent match. I don't think either one of these guys is going to give up very much coming out of the gate. We expect a lot from Logan. We saw his father here shooting this morning, or yesterday in the seniors division.
Yep, which he won, I believe.
And Logan, 11-11, comes out of the gate with a 22 for his first 2 arrows.
Now, each of these archers is allowed to have a coach advocate in the box behind them. We say in the box, meaning standing behind them, supporting them, providing a little bit of coaching. For Logan, that should be his brother Rio or his dad D. I think it's Rio behind him right now. Usually is in international and national competitions whenever they're together. And there's just nobody like family to provide that support that you need when there's a lot of pressure on the line.
Logan able to capitalize on that miss from Shane. He has a 1-point lead. After 3 arrows, he'll have a 33. Shane will have a 32.
Very close match.
Nice shooting, Logan. Great start.
Thank you.
How you doing up there?
Been up here before, and it just doesn't get any easier. You just got to continue to go back to what you do every day in practice. So.
Got to trust your shot, don't you? It all comes down to that.
100%.
Shooting archery is, every shot is you have to trust your shot. You have to have faith in yourself and in your shot on every single arrow, and it all comes down to that, no matter what's on the line. Okay, Logan, I see is shooting one of the new elites. He's shooting a CBE sight and scope. Looks like he's running hero bars from Doinker. And what release are you shooting?
Shooting the Scott Halo.
Scott Halo? Very good. Again, attention release. All right, we'll get ready for our second end. Logan's choice.
Choice, first or second? First.
Logan will shoot first.
Shoot second.
So we can see here, Chuck, and we've mentioned this before, that the archer who is shooting a little stronger has the option to shoot first or defer that to his opponent. There's a little bit of gamesmanship there. Obviously, you want to put a little pressure on your opponent. It's not that you're deliberately playing mind games with them, but you want every advantage, especially with cash prizes like we've got on the line today.
Yeah, these guys are shooting for probably $20,000, $30,000 worth of overall prize money, maybe a little bit more depending on the sponsorship levels that they have and the different contingencies for the different equipment that they use.
Just out of
Shane's
the
going to
11.
be just out for a 10. Logan also with a 10, so still maintains that 1 point advantage.
Archery is one of the most exciting sports out there, Chuck, and we saw that, especially the last several years during the Olympic Games. Archery was NBC's most watched sport during its first week of Olympic Games coverage, outshining a lot of other mainstream sports. We've seen archery across the board, movies like The Hunger Games, Brave, The Avengers, CW's Arrow. Archery is really here to stay, and we see it reflected in the very high production value in tournaments like the Lancaster Archery Classic, where you've got lots of prize money on the line. This is just one of the first tournaments in a long year of major events to come.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Logan makes an adjustment to his sight. You saw that after the last arrow. He reached up and he moved a knob, which repositions the aiming device so that he's back in the center now. And Shane was able to capitalize and close that lead to 0. It's now a tie ball game.
Preliminary call is a 10. Let's give these guys a hand. Nice shooting, guys. Let you make your adjustments. Shane Wills, you've been here many times. Good friend, fellow. You hail from what town?
Cumberland, Maryland.
Cumberland, Maryland. So Western Maryland area. And what club or shop do you shoot with?
Cumberland Bow Hunters is where I shoot out of in Cumberland, Maryland.
Okay. And you've spent your whole life shooting with someone else that we know quite well, don't you? Yeah. We all miss Jesse, don't we?
A little bit, yeah. Sometimes.
Jesse Broadwater, our good friend, has recently moved south for good weather and greener pastures, and seems to be certainly enjoying himself down there, but we do miss him in the Mid-Atlantic region. Shane, you just changed to PSC this year. How's it treating you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Very happy. Yep.
Okay, I see he's shooting a brand new PSC bow, chief sight, and we'll get the rest of your gear next out. Okay, it looks like we've got a 64,
so Chuck, we're talking a little bit about the gear that these archers are using, and for the folks at home, we talk about the basics, right? The bow and the arrow, of course, is the most essential thing that you need to shoot a bow, and then you can customize from there depending on what you want to do. If you want to take it beyond just shooting for fun, shooting at stumps or targets in the backyard, and you want to get a little more serious, shoot at your local archery range, shoot at targets, enjoy the fun of a league, you might put sights on your bow, you might put counterbalances like the long stabilizers, the long rods on the bow that we see, and you can add or take away accessories as you like to make archery a lot of fun for you.
Absolutely, and every time you make an adjustment there, it changes your division or your class. These guys would be typically called open, or they would call freestyle, where you have all sorts of gears and gadgets on there to make the bow aim and point a little better.
And the gears and gadgets are really pretty easy to use. I mean, to somebody new to the sport, you may look at it and say, wow, there's a lot of stuff on that bow. I have no idea what it does. The bow is actually very simple to use. As we can see here with Shane, all he's doing is drawing that bow back, aiming and settling in, and then when he feels he's ready to take the shot, activating his release, boom, the arrow's in the target.
Both of those guys matching up 11 for 11 there. Shane needs to pick up an extra point somewhere here. They did call one of his last arrows out that I thought might have been in.
Ooh.
Logan's really on a dial there.
33.
Really
he is on fire today, Chuck. He's shooting really, really well. Shane needs an 11 if he wants to stay up on Logan.
That's going to be a 10. It's going to be a 2-point advantage, Logan, now going into the last end.
Well, it's some nice shooting. I believe Rio has a 33 that end.
Rio.
Oh, Rio. Sorry, Logan.
I won't let you let that.
Sorry. I'll pay for that one. For that one's going to cost me a burger, isn't it?
It's probably a burger or something. Maybe.
Sorry about that. Well, Shane, coming over to you and kind of finishing up, I see you're shooting a Jesse Freak Show arrow rest from AE. You're shooting AE Hot Rods Bars, Easton Arrows, and what release?
The Fulcrum, shoe ball Fulcrum.
Very nice. Again, a tension release for these professionals shooting in this venue. Okay, the guys are ready, coming back. Let's give these arrow runners a hand. Colby and Aiden, doing a great job. Okay, looks like we've got 97-95, 2-point lead for Logan Wilde.
Choice.
And so for the scoring people paying attention at home, again, it's 11 points for the center, the smallest ring. The arrow just needs to touch the line in that ring to get those 11 points. And then the next ring out would be 10 points. The final yellow ring would be 9 points. The first red ring is 8, then 7, and then the blue ring is 6 points. The archer with the highest score at the end of 4 ends of 3 arrows, and that an end is 3 arrows. They shoot 3, go fetch them, and do it again. They do that 4 times. Whoever has the highest score at the end of 4 of those moves on. The losing archer is eliminated from competition.
Now, viewers at home might notice that when these archers shoot, there are a few things they have in common. For example, they all stretch out nice and strong across their upper body, generally pretty straight alignment. They pull that bow back, they pull the bowstring back, and they usually try to follow through on their release. Very similar to golf, tennis, any other sport, baseball. You really want to see good follow through, meaning they finish the shot. For some archers, they finish the shot quickly. Shane Wills is one of those guys. You can see that everything kind of relaxes very quickly as soon as that arrow comes out of the bow. Logan tends to hold his follow through a little bit longer, but either way, these bows are moving really fast, propelling the arrows downrange. And so as long as the arrow's out of the bow, the follow through is not going to make a whole lot of difference once the arrow's out.
And Logan right in the same hole for an 11.
Great shooting from him today.
Rob called him Rio again.
Ooh, that's going to hurt.
And another, well, he might catch the 11 on that one. We'll have to look and see how that goes.
I'm sure you've been called worse.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, me and Rim have always gotten along, and being in this sport together, and it doesn't hurt the fact that we kind of look alike. So
Yeah, there we go. Red card.
2 minutes in the penalty box.
One tiny lapse of concentration, and you pay for it forever.
forever.
Whether it's on the shooting line or with a mic in your hand.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, looks like we've got a tight match here. 1 point. Logan 129. Shane Wills 128.
Good shooting, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me see here. We're ready for the next one. I want to take it. Hold on, Shane. You've got. I'll find my note here. That's 8th place, $750. Let's give Shane Wills a hand. Nice shooting, Shane. We have Danny McCarthy coming up, doing the walk. Come on down, Danny.
We've got a great shooter coming up here, Dan McCarthy, one of the best out there on the 3D circuit. He's been a little quiet. He's normally very active on social media. One of the great things about Dan, he's always willing to offer a hand, offer advice. When people reach out and have questions about his sponsors or his equipment, he's always willing to chat about it. He's been a little quiet on social media these last few months getting ready for the season. Now here he's getting warmed up at the Lancaster Archery Classic.
Dan's generally very busy on the tour. He starts early in the season with the ATA show, which was just a couple of weeks ago. That's an archery trade show. He does all the indoor events, and he also shoots competitively on the 3D tour. So he's very, very busy. And once fall comes around, he generally likes to decompress and hunt and things like that. This past year, he got married to Emily, so there was a wedding there, and then just to kind of go into a blackout where they just relax for a couple of months and get ready for the upcoming season. Like you say, Dan's generally very, very busy and very involved with the tour and a lot of things on the side. So seeing him come back, this is probably his first or second major indoor for the season. We'll see him in Vegas again in 2 weeks.
One of the great things about watching Dan McCarthy shoot is he's so steady, Chuck. So when you watch him aim and hold, and hopefully we'll see it on his next shot, you can just see that bow usually could be different in this finals venue. Typically that bow is not moving. You almost have to double take and see if that camera is really on him because his bow stays nice and steady.
He does hold incredibly well. Now in his qualification round the other day, I noticed he finished his second half of 30 arrows. He shot 30 straight 11s or 30 X's, 30 straight extra middle shots. for his back half. So, obviously Dan can put the whole package together.
Fantastic shooting from him. Logan puts another 11 down there. Nice shooting.
33, a 1-point lead at this match.
Dan McCarthy needs no introduction on the 3D course. Longtime 3D pro and also shooting dots. You've been here at the Lancaster Classic for many years. One of the guys that has come and helped to support us from early on from the 3D ranks, and we really appreciate that, Dan. You're having a great weekend so far. How'd your qualification round on Friday go?
Qualification went good. It's a lot easier to shoot qualifying round because you're just relaxed. You're just trying to get to this show, and shot a really solid round. Struggled a little bit in the head-to-heads, just a little bit of tension and stuff. But this is the first event of the year for me. So this is the first time I've shot outside of my house, my safe zone. So it's a little more pressure than I think I've shot all year. So it's good. I'm glad to be here. Happy to be here. Watch this thing grow from the bottom. This is a pretty amazing tournament.
Well, thank you so much for your support over the years, Dan. Okay, we're going to get started with our Your first arrow was looks like a 10. Yes. We're looking at.
And we're back live here at the Lancaster Archery Classic with Mr. Steve Anderson. Thanks very much, Steve, for joining us, man of the people.
Yeah.
I know you'd rather be up there this morning or this afternoon in the shoot-off. Didn't go so well for you in eliminations, but...
Yeah, that's... anytime I'm announcing, usually means I didn't have the tournament I wanted to, but I seem to be doing a lot of announcing these days.
I don't know. I mean, you've done pretty well. I watched you last week in Nîmes. You went quite a ways. I know you definitely wanted to get farther, but as busy as you are, I know you work heavily with Easton and things like that, and you're involved with a lot of things outside of just shooting your bow. So to be as competitive as you are, I think, is a testament to your ability. But I know you're quite the sportsman, and you're definitely a guy who wants to win. You are a world champion.
Yeah, I think if you just sign up for enough events and pay enough entry fees, you eventually win a world championship or something.
I don't think it's a participation award. I really don't.
Oh, I thought they just gave one to you eventually.
No, because I would have had a pile of them. So you've been watching some of the matches today. What have you seen, or what are your comments so far? What do you think?
Some impressive shooting on the in the men's open class, the amateurs.
Yeah,
they had some good stuff going, and fair match between Logan and Shane to start this one off. Logan and Dan, I assume, will give us another good match. I think it's going to get interesting, and I think if I was going to give my opinion, I think it's going to be a serious hurdle for anyone in this bottom four to move ahead of Jesse at number 4.
Strong shooting, tie it up at the halfway point here. Let's talk about your gear a little bit.
Shooting the new TRX 7 by Matthews. Love this bow. It's an amazing piece of equipment. Shooting my Excel Achieve, the new AV scopes, the AAE Freak Show rests and stabilizers, and True Ball Release HD.
Very nice. Very nice. I know your Black Eagle arrows, so you're shooting PS 26s. How much weight are you running in the points?
I'm running 200 grains in the front of my 26.
Very nice. Very nice. Good shooting. You guys are both shooting awesome. 65 all. And we have a question from a viewer of draw weight. What kind of draw weight are you shooting, Logan?
I'm shooting 59 pounds.
59 pounds, just under 60.
71.
71 for Dan McCarthy. That would be the same as you shoot for your 3D setup?
I shoot 73 for my 3D setup, but I was struggling to hold it back a little bit. I creep fired a few times at home in practice, so I dropped it a couple pounds for this.
He's only shooting 71 pounds for indoors with a lot of arrows.
And I've creep fired with this one a couple times too. So.
Let's hope it doesn't happen. Okay, 65 all.
71 pounds of draw weight. I mean, I think Dan's the only guy I know that does that. Is there anybody else you're aware of that shoots that much weight for indoor?
Maybe Tim on occasion. Tim always talks about how he thinks he shoots 70 pounds better than than 60, but even then, I don't know. You don't know what Tim's doing from end to end, let alone day to day. So
he does have a knack to tweak stuff.
Yeah, he might be shooting a 45-pounder today. No one knows.
No one really knows. What they're referring to is, if you're tuning in here at some of our friends with Blue Ridge, what they're talking about is the poundage, the weight, how much strength it takes to draw that bow. And Dan's bow, it takes 71 pounds of force to pull that back. And then he's got to hold it there. Of course, there's a let-off, so he's not holding all 71 pounds. But he's still got to draw that bow a few hundred times a day if he's in a practice round. Logan with a 50-pound bow is obviously going to get along with that a lot better. Logan pounding the center out 11 after 11 right now. Dan comes out strong with an 11.
Yeah, and again, if it hasn't been mentioned before, the international limit is 60 pounds. So that's why you see the vast majority of people out here are going to be about 58, 59 pounds. They're staying under that limit, but right up to it.
And then here in the States, yeah, it's a little bit higher for many of the tournaments that you go to.
Anything non-world archery sanctioned is going to be basically whatever poundage you want.
Right.
You're still going to see most around 60 pounds, but you see a few creep up there. A guy like Dan who shoots a lot of 3D, yeah, he's going to do that.
Yeah, he wants more speed.
We'll get into the 11 for that.
Excellent shooting, almost inside out around. How you feeling now, Logan?
Getting the first little bit of the nerves out of the way. It's coming along, but they're still there.
Very good, very good. For those of you who may not know, Logan's now working inside the industry for TOG, Elite Archery, and we certainly have enjoyed watching his career progress and see that he's enjoying his career in the archery industry. So it's literally an archery life, day in, day out, whether you're shooting or whether you're at your day job.
That's correct. And having a great support group with my wife and kids, they help make me, want to do what I do and help support me, which is great.
That's awesome, Logan. Let's give Logan Wilde a hand. Okay, got a time match, 98 all, one in to go. Last in.
And as we stepped aside there to let Rob do his quick little interview, we were talking about bow weight, Steve, and what is poundage going to get you normally?
Well, first off, on a compound bow that features let-off, as you increase poundage, you also increase your holding weight. So, a shooter may wish to hold a little more weight. I imagine Logan is probably holding around 20 pounds or so, whereas Dan's probably holding around 25, 26. So as you increase that poundage, you can increase that holding weight. Now, indoors where speed is really not a factor, that might be one reason why you'd increase the poundage. Outdoors and for 3D, it's going to be about the speed. They want to be able to pump a pretty large diameter arrow out there at a pretty fast pace for unmarked 3D, so it just helps with yardage estimation errors. You do see the 3D base guys tend to go more towards 70 pounds and a large diameter arrow like what Dan is using here.
Now I see Logan dropped a 10 on his first arrow. Dan was able to capitalize and pick up an 11. So he should have a 1-point lead going into this last arrow. This could be the match. We'll have to see if Logan is able to put down another 11. Yep. So Dan has to match that to win a 10 tie. That's a 10.
Yeah, barely caught it. It's the hardest arrow to shoot usually. The one to win.
When you know you're in it to win it.
Yeah. Shooting to tie is generally a lot easier.
So we're going to go to a shoot off here, and we'll let Rob talk to the guys for just a second, and then we'll talk about that on the other side.
So close. It's going to come down to 2 line calls, literally.
It's usually what happens in this division. I mean, it's with competition even from 1 to 64 in this cut. Anybody can win. I mean, Nathan Brooks and Stefan Hansen were 1 versus 64, and it was just one arrow that was separating the two. So anything in this division can happen.
Let me point out, as Logan just did, that in this level of competition, anyone that makes the cut is talented enough to, of course, shoot 12 good arrows in a row and to shoot 12 11s in a row. So there is no one that's safe. We've gotten a word of 11 11 10 for Dan, is that correct? Okay. And for Logan? Looks like we've got a tie score. All right, we'll put fresh faces up. Let's give them a hand. That's kind of the result we wanted, wasn't it? All right. No. Dan said no. Okay.
So the crowd loves a sudden death shoot-off. Obviously, the archers don't. You've been involved in those. You're not a super fan of that, unless it goes your way.
Right, yeah. You know, for a guy like Dan, as I was just saying, it's a lot easier to shoot for the tie. If you know you need an 11 to tie, you know, you feel like you're kind of on the comeback a little bit. But if it's 11 to win, that always seems to be a little more difficult. So
It's the first of possibly 3 one-arrow shoot-offs.
So now we've got the shoot-off coming up, and these are under a little bit different rules. Why don't you explain that for us, Chuck?
So this is going to be a 1-arrow end for score. So the first archer will shoot, the second archer will shoot. If the scores are tied, they will do it again. If the archers are still tied at the end of 2 arrows apiece, then they will go to 1 arrow closest to the center. And they'll measure that out with actually a millimeter scale. They did that yesterday or Friday with a couple of the Saturday with a couple of the eliminations. Dan needs an 11 to stay in the match. Absolutely center punches it.
So we go to 1 more arrow. They just have to match score.
They have to match score. If Logan were to shoot a 10, Dan were to shoot an 11, the match would be over. Dan would move on. So it is 1 arrow for score, and then they will go to closest to the center. It's a very quick elimination. You don't have to shoot a complete end. It can normally take place very, very quickly. Great shot of Logan there, staring it down.
11.
Hits the 11, good solid 11, well inside the 10 line. Dan also looking pretty comfortable there. You don't see any quivers or any shakes. Staring it down. A little longer hold than he normally has. There's some breathing and some flaring.
Nice high definition shot we've got here.
11.
And now it's going to go to closest to center. Yeah. See Dan with that deep breath after getting that off.
Yeah, so this differs from World Archery a little bit. At World Archery, if your match finishes in a tie, your shoot-off is 1 arrow closest to center. So here they get 2 arrows to try to hash it out, and then they go to the 3rd arrow closest to center.
A little longer sudden death.
2 arrows, arrow for arrow, and then it comes down to this 3rd arrow is closest to center. So we will do everything possible to make a determination as to which arrow is closest to center on this one.
Now I watched Dan glass that target. I wonder if he was thinking if he should make an adjustment, maybe put a click in there or not.
Yeah, he's just a little bit on the low side. It could have been just where he's firing, so you kind of have to make that determination.
Mm-hmm. Logan's brother Rio standing behind them as his coach advocate. You can see him in the box there. About a half shaft, 3/4 shaft 11. Dan does have a door here. He could get that closer to the center and win this right now.
It's a hard one to beat, but it's beatable.
Mm-hmm. I lost on one like that last weekend. And that'll go to Logan for the win.
It appears as though Logan's arrow may be just a little bit closer to dead center. Logan's high. There we go. That's the call from Larry. Logan Wilde on a 1 arrow shoot off, closest to center. Danny McCarthy, you've won 7th place, $1,000. Congratulations. So great run. Let's give a hand to Danny McCarthy. Next archer out is Jacob Marlow.
And so Jacob Marlow is going to come up now and shoot against Logan. Jacob Marlow, a very popular kid on the 3D tour. Starting to see him a little bit more on the indoor here. And because Jacob is the higher seed, and we've talked about this in the past, Jacob gets to choose whether he starts in the right or the left position and move Logan out of his comfort zone, which he does. He moves him over to the next podium, and then he'll have the opportunity to decide whether or not he shoots first or second. Now, both of these guys shooting for elite archery. And the whole point of either bumping somebody off or keeping them where they stay is to get in their head a little bit. Steve, you've experienced this a bit. Would you rather have a guy stay in the position he's been in, or would you bump him off to the next platform?
I'd always move him. I mean, you gotta make him see some change of scenery. It's not much, and Logan started on that side, so he's been over there before. But a little change in what they're looking at is always nice. Now they're seeing the clock on a different side. They're seeing the camera people on different sides. It's just a little bit different, but certainly
that paid off.
If you're a gamesman, you're not going to just let them stand where they've been standing and keep on,
stay in that groove.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You want to get them out of that groove as best you can.
Right.
Jacob comes out strong with a 22 in his first arrows. Logan missed his first one for a 10. Well, I thought it was a 10, but they're scoring it as an 11. I thought it was a little high and outside.
It could be in there. We'll certainly get a good call from the judge when they get a chance to walk down there.
Right. Jacob looks like he's got a 33.
Yep.
Logan shooting the Easton 27 shaft. You are a little familiar with those, working for Easton.
Yep. I see a bunch of those get pumped out of the factory every day.
Most
right in the
accurate
USA.
aluminum shaft right here in the USA.
Perfect start. Jacob, congratulations for a great start.
Thank you.
All right, let's hear about your equipment. What gear are you running? Tell us about your bow and accessories.
I got an Elite Victory 37, CB Vertex, CB housing, whatever lens they send with it. Not sure what it is. Bee Stinger, Scott, Black Eagle.
Very good, very good. Seems to be working for you. What release?
Scott Longhorn.
Scott Longhorn, tension release, a hinge release. You shoot a lot of 3Ds. How does this compare to shooting 3Ds, being up on this stage?
The nerves are about the same in like the qualification versus the start, and this is a touch more than the shoot-offs in 3D, but I've been in a few more of those than this, so it's just a little different game.
Very good. Well, congratulations for earning the right to be here. Okay, the official call was that Logan's first arrow was just out. So we have a 1-point lead for Jacob Marlow. We'll choose first or second? First.
And Jacob elects to go first, just like he did in the first match, and they did call Logan's arrow out. For what it's worth, I do know what they ship in those CBE sights. It is a Feather Vision lens.
Yeah, one that you're familiar with.
Well, I'm vaguely familiar with that. It's a great lens, great company. They're a huge customer of Feather Vision. Jacob fires right into the same hole he put on there the first time. Logan center punches it that time for a really good-looking 11. Now, one of these two guys is going to face Jesse Broadwater next. That'll be a great match to watch as well. Jacob with a second 11. Absolutely what we're expecting out of these guys.
Yeah, and starting in the 6th, 7th, 8th spot, that's a tall order to think you're going to run the gauntlet and win. I don't think it's ever happened.
It's a long ladder.
Yeah.
Teresa and I talked about that this morning with the stamina to make it through several of these brackets, and to see, if they have the mental fortitude and the physical ability to actually shoot through a tall bracket like this.
Mm-hmm. And we have a match here, shooting. Congratulations. Perfect end, 33-33. Nice shooting. Look to be cool as a cucumber up there.
I might look that way.
Where are you from, Jacob?
Florida, just right around Panama City.
Panama City, Western Florida, Panhandle of Florida. Very good. That is certainly 3D country down there. All right, Logan, how are we doing over here?
We're hanging in there.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting arrows.
Shooting arrows.
That's right.
Okay, we're at the halfway point. Just a 1 point difference. Jacob Marlow has a 1 point lead. We'll choose to shoot first or second. First.
Want to welcome you back again to the Lancaster Archery Classic 2017. We are in the Trueball XL Archery Hall at the Spooky Nook Sports Complex. This is the Hoyt live stream with live scoring brought to you by Dead Center Archery Products through archers.com, rcherz.com, archers.com. And we have a little over 2,500 online viewers right now. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Chuck Cooley, and I'm in the booth with Mr. Big Cat Steve Anderson. And we're about halfway through the bracket here in the men's Open Pro division. Right now we're watching Jacob Marlow, who just fired his arrow, and that is Logan Wilde. These guys are putting on a heck of a show. Steve, what do you think?
Well, there's a 10 out from Logan there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, this is going to be a good battle. You know, we were talking a little bit about starting from the 6, 7, or 8 position.
Jacob with a high one there. That might be a 9.
Yeah, we'll see what they get there. You know, I made the final my first year here, and I was 7th, so I had to shoot against everybody, and I think I ended up 5th or 6th. And that's, like I said, that's a really tough way to go about it. It's not easy to make that run. So,
excuse me, 32-31 on that end. Jacob was able to pick up 1 more point. So unofficially right now we have 98-96. Jacob maintains the lead. Well, Jacob, you're doing a good job here, staying on top of it. Feeling all right?
No. Nervous, like normal.
What do you do to handle your nerves?
I don't. I just hope they work out, and it doesn't always. That's about all I got for you.
Okay, very good. Well, yeah, whatever you're doing, it seems to be working.
It maybe. We still got a long way to go.
All right. Okay, we've got 3 ends complete. We're down to our last end of this match. And the word that we're getting is that the scores are correct as posted. So we have 98-96. Jacob has a 2-point lead heading into the last end.
I think these guys just alluded to exactly what it was. Great to hear the honesty out of Jacob that you know, he's just kind of winging it right now. But you know, they both alluded to, you know, what you say. You know, Jacob said there's a long way to go. And if you look at going through these brackets, you know, if you have to go through 3 brackets, that's 36 arrows minimum plus practice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go through 4 brackets, that's 48 arrows. That's a 450 round plus an end. And if you have to go through 5 brackets, that's 60 arrows.
Yeah, and you got to figure at some point you're going to need at least 1 game where you probably have to be perfect. So you got to have a 132, a perfect score in there, and you're not going to get much elsewhere. I mean, these guys, if you were to put them at home in practice, most of them are going to shoot around a 132. If you get them in a situation like this, they'll give up a couple points just because, you know, they're under the spotlight. But my thing is, in a 12-arrow match, if you miss 1, plan on shooting off.
Yeah.
You know, when you get to this level.
If you miss 2, you're probably done. If you're 3, you're definitely out.
Yeah, 2, you have to be lucky.
Yeah. Then we're seeing that now. Jacob's got a 130 posted.
130-129 victory for Jacob unofficially. We'll see if that works out. Logan, you had a heck of a run there. Great match, a lot of excitement, a lot to be proud of. I know you don't want it to end. Nobody wants it to end, but for everybody but one person here, it's going to. Looks like you're going to pick up $1,250 for your trouble for 6th place. And thank you for coming to the LAS Classic. I hope you continue your streak and continue to coming back. It is great to have Rio, Logan, and their father D come each and every year. It's an honor to have them back year after year, that this tournament means enough to them to travel the whole way across the country. So let's have a shout out for the Wilde bunch.
Thanks, Rob. Everything you've done for the sport of archery, man, it means everything to us, and you put on a great event. Your staff has always been friendly, takes care of every shooter that I know of. So, you know, we want to just say thank you to you and everything that your workers do for us.
All right, I owe you 2 cheeseburgers.
Perfect.
Give Logan Wilde now 3. Okay, Jacob Marlow. Congratulations. Nice shooting. Heck, almost perfect. A 130 match. Good solid match. How you feeling?
About the same as I was 5 minutes ago. I'm still shaking. Yeah, I ain't got no better.
All right. Step on down. We'll introduce our next archer. Jesse
Great honesty from Jacob there. I think that's fantastic. But now we're going to see Jesse Broadwater come in. Steve, I want to thank you for swinging by the booth today. It's always a great pleasure to have you in here. I know you're super busy in the industry working with Easton and all your other sponsors and supporters and things like that. I know you got to get back out and take care of the guys here because you've got work to do. And,
yeah, I got to pack up a booth, and you know, thankfully this year we have a weekend between this one and Vegas, so I'll have a little time to practice and try to remember how to shoot the bow. And
well, I think we'll see some great things out of you in Vegas. I'm looking forward to it. I know you're looking forward to the break. You mentioned that in several interviews all season long, that you want to feel a little more prepared. So I'm looking forward to not doing a broadcast with you in Vegas.
Yeah, it should be. That's the plan,
Hopefully,
right? I don't want to see you on
until
Sunday
the
night.
very
yeah,
end.
exactly.
Yeah, I'll talk to you at the very end of Sunday, and hopefully riding a chariot, maybe.
We'll see about that. Well, thanks for having me, and it's probably better to hear from Teresa anyways. Her voice is a little sweeter than mine, so I think they only put me on.
She's a lot easier on the eyes than you are, I'll give you that.
I think they only put me on hoping I'll say something dumb and they'll have a nice, sound bite, but I didn't do it for them this year.
No, it's all right. I know you're busy, so thanks again for swinging by. I really appreciate it, Steve.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Jacob answers 111 to resume.
So what we're watching here is Jesse Broadwater. Now, Jesse is a 3-time champion here. The last time he won this event was 2014. Jesse Broadwater is commonly known as the Freak Show because he's so good at what he does here in the archery world. Jacob has been introduced to Jesse on the 3D tour. Jesse had always been really a dot shooter, but on the last couple of seasons had been out to the ASAs, the known yardage, trying to feel his way around that and have a little more fun. He's living in Florida now, as we've alluded to in earlier parts of the broadcast. And both guys come out of the gate with 33s.
Competitors going at it. Let's talk about your gear, Jesse. You've made a incredibly well announced change this year. Shot Hoyt for many, many years, and now shooting a Matthews bow. It seems to be treating you well. Tell us about your gear.
Yeah, shooting the TRX-8 from Matthews, and can't say enough about it. It's been phenomenal, especially through the transitional period. It shoots good. I'm just still trying to get adapted to it, but it's good. TrueBall XL sight, Feather Vision lens, TrueBall release, Fulcrum Flex release, Easton arrows.
Very good. That Fulcrum Flex, I know Jesse had something to do with helping to design that, working with TrueBall, and it seems to be working well. Okay, we've got a tie match, 33-all.
And we've seen both of these guys actually also on the target archery circuit. We got to see Jacob Marlow perform in the Gator Cup a couple years ago, one of USA Archery's national team qualifying events. He came out, shocked the whole field, shot just like he's shooting here this weekend. And so he's a talented kid. He's also a really nice kid, Chuck. If you've ever talked to Jacob Marlow, he's a perfect gentleman. He's a really nice guy.
He's super genuine, whatever he says, you take faith in it. And he's shooting really, really well today. He's put together some really solid arrows. I think Jesse's going to have a solid competitor in him. Now, the winner of this match is going to go through to Braden Gellenthien. who is our next highest qualifier.
And we've seen Jesse and Braden shoot against each other many times on the world stage. They're both former World Cup and World Championship teammates, and they have faced each other domestically, internationally, over and over and over again. Jacob Marlow, of course, a little less familiar, I think, to Braden in competition in terms of outdoor shooting, but certainly indoors, both worthy competitors, and it's anybody's game at this point.
Jacob shooting almost the same exact hole. Jesse does the same thing through his 3 arrows, and now, you know, Jacob, obviously he's got to lay another one in there to stay in this match.
And he lays it down. Nice shooting.
33s apiece, and this match is tied.
Congratulations, nice shooting, guys. Just want to point out, you saw, and throughout this round, you've seen people move their sight. Jesse just gave his sight a click or two, and what they're trying to do is make sure that they stay as dead center as possible. And I want to stress that to everyone, the importance of a quality micrometer, quality built sight. It is a precision instrument that archers use, and you need to have the confidence in that sight bar that when you give it one click, it's repeatable. You need to be able to depend on it. For these guys, their living depends on that sight being as incredibly accurate as the TrueBall XL Achieve sights are. So the moral to the story is, archers, don't be afraid to move your sight if you feel the shot broke right, broke correctly. Move it if you need to.
So, folks, if you're wondering who's standing behind Jessie there in the coach's box, she looks a little small to be there, but she's got a big personality. Her name is Chelsea Neville, and she is with the Pink Arrow Project. It's a charity that she founded as a young archer because she's so passionate about raising awareness for breast cancer. Now, she has made a friend in Jesse Broadwater, who is a philanthropist himself, also very focused on charitable giving. And Jesse developed, along with TrueBall XL, of course, you know, we're in the TrueBall XL Archery Hall here, they worked out an option, I guess, for the proceeds of one particular release aid, or part of the proceeds, to be donated to a cancer research center. So both of these philanthropists decided to team up this past weekend and put together a nationwide challenge to youth archery clubs, that the club that raises the most money for charity will be, I guess, receiving a visit from Jesse Broadwater, Chelsea Neville, and maybe a couple of their friends. And this is all through the Pink Arrow Project. You can find out more information on this competition by visiting Facebook and checking out the Pink Arrow Project.
Jacob, that was another perfect end. Good shooting. Jesse, your arrow just missed there low. Looked like a great shot. Feeling good up there?
Getting better as time goes on here. Yeah, that one just bobbled a little bit on me.
Okay, very good. We'll take and make sure that it is official. That arrow was very close. These guys are putting on a heck of a show. Okay, I just got word that that was a 10. So we have a match, a 1-point match, 99 to 98, nearly perfect. Okay, Jacob,
Jesse,
sorry about that. I stepped right on you. Jesse down by 1 with an uncharacteristic miss there. He's normally really, really solid. Gives a very slight 1-point advantage to Jacob here.
This is a tight match, Chuck. I mean, look at the quality of shooting we're seeing out of both of these archers right now. Certainly befitting this national and international stage in this world-class venue that we've got here.
Yeah, Jacob's been absolutely on fire. In his last match, he opened up with 33-33. Then he missed 2 11s with a 32 and a 32, and came back in the last end and shot another 33 against Jesse.
Nice shooting by Jesse on that shot. And, you know, you can't help but wonder when your opponent just almost never misses. You've just got to do your best and hope that there's a break somewhere, because the truth is, the way Jacob's been shooting today.
Ooh, there's a big bobble by Jacob, but he holds on to the 10. Now the match is tied up again.
The door is open. Will Jesse take advantage of it, though? And he does.
He does. Like we said, Jesse is a 3-time champion here. He won this last time in 2014, And he's definitely wanting to come back after making the switch to Matthews and make a statement that he's definitely not lost a step in the new equipment. Very focused, very comfortable. Great shot from Jesse. That's a 33, so that'll tie up the match going into the last end.
Well, Jacob, you got that out of your system, right?
Well, I got 2 out last match and 1 out this one. I just hope there's no more.
Well, nice shooting. Very, very nice match. Jesse, you hung in there like you always do and came through to tie the match out. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Like I say, a little bit better as time goes on here, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay. We've got 2 arrows, single arrow shoot-offs. We'll just try to call those from the glasses if we can. And then the 3rd arrow will come to closest to center. Jesse, tell me something about your
So we're going to see a replay of what we saw in the last match there, Teresa, with the single arrow shoot-offs. So 1 arrow, what we call 1 arrow ends. In other words, each archer will shoot 1 arrow. If the scores match, they'll do it again. If the scores still match, then they go closest to center. We saw that yesterday.
Thank you, Jesse. Okay, I believe we're ready. Larry, do you know who will lead? It will be...
Jacob led the last time. You had your choice. Your choice. Go first. With 1 arrow.
Jacob chooses to lead.
Marlow, and you can see he's ready. He's got his game face on. This is high pressure competition right now. These guys know there's a lot of money on the line. The key here is to balance, to make sure they stay focused on shot execution, not thinking about a giant check, not thinking about hitting the centermost of the target, thinking about executing a great shot while they balance that pressure in their mind.
Jesse hits a really, really tight to the center 11. It's going to go 1 more arrow because both archers shot an 11, which is that innermost ring. Jacob shoots another 11.
Pressure's on Jesse right now. He's got to deliver if he wants to stay alive and try to win this prize.
It's going to go to that closest to the air, closest to center. Yep. And now we're going to see a closest to center shoot-off, a sudden death elimination. No matter what, we will have a winner at the after both of these arrows have been shot.
What did you have to say there?
I just told Jesse he was really good.
Let's give Jacob a hand for that. We love this. That's awesome. What a compliment, Jesse, and well deserved. Okay, a lot of respect here in the room.
That a little bit of joking back and forth, when they're getting ready to shoot off for what potentially has the opportunity to be $20,000 or $30,000 if they can stay in the game here.
We've got a packed house, Chuck. There's so much pressure right now on these guys. Really calm under that pressure. Look at that shot.
That's a great arrow.
This is going to be very tough.
It's about 3/4 all the way in.
And Jesse just has to focus on his own shot right now. He cannot think about his opponent.
That's an 11, but Jacob will win that. Jesse will be eliminated.
Nice shooting.
Wow, what a match.
Jacob has shot closest to center. Jacob, what'd that shot mean to you?
A little bit more money.
I know that for quite a few years you've looked up to Jesse Broadwater. And
yeah, I've got more respect for Jesse than anybody in the industry. I mean, I always love shooting with him. It's always a good time.
Very good. Jesse, well-deserved reputation. You are the person that everybody tries to be, and you're the person that everybody points to as the ultimate mentor in our sport. Forever the gentleman, and we're always rooting for you. You leave the LAS Classic in 5th place with $1,500 for the weekend. And again, I thank you very much for coming up. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Rob, and the whole LAS crew for putting on another great event. We'll be back next year, and I appreciate it, Jacob. Good shooting. Maybe you can teach me something at 3D one day.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Jesse. A hand for Jesse Broadwater.
You can see here, folks, that this is a packed venue. We have got so many people here in the hall to watch these finals. This particular division, as well as the women's Open Pro and the men's and women's recurve finals we saw earlier today, have attracted so many spectators here, and people are just really excited to see the best of the best. Speaking of which, here comes Braden Gellenthien, one of the most winning shooters out there. Very strong target archery and field archery shooter, and he is going to face up against Jacob Marlow, who's on fire this morning.
And Braden, like you mentioned, you know, he's a winning archer. He's got several world records. His latest one just coming this past year. Braden is absolutely dominant when it comes to target shooting. Now a teammate of Jesse, who we just saw sadly get eliminated. But Jacob's he's been on a tear, and hopefully he can hold it together against Braden here.
Fun facts about Braden. So he is currently ranked 21st in the world. He has previously held a top 3, if not a number 1 world ranking, and he averages a 9.78 out of 10 possible points in international competition. So he is going to be very tough to pass.
Look at that first arrow. He comes out, makes it look extremely comfortable, absolutely center punches it, sending Jacob a message that he has to, wow, and he matches it.
Jacob is not concerned. Jacob is going to shoot his own game. Each of these archers are really going to be in their own head. They really have to stay focused on their own game. If they have any chance of winning this prize. Both of them have been up on stage before. Now that's out to the left for Braden. That's a bit of a surprising entry.
Jacob could totally capitalize here, pick up a point, come out of this first end with a little bit of a lead. If he
Big opportunity, and he makes the most of it.
He capitalizes. I would expect Braden to just completely shake that off.
Let's see, he's very calm. He makes very aggressive shots, and he catches the 11 there.
That's the 11. You see him glance down with that big breath. He's glancing down at his feet because there's a monitor down there, a close-up monitor. There's a camera on there, so you can see exactly where his arrows hit.
33-32 to start out. Good shooting, Braden.
Thanks.
Getting ready to roll?
Yeah, it's a little bit more jittery than the qualification round, so just getting used to it.
Again, for everyone at home, all of these guys feel nerves, okay? Certainly no exception. Let's talk about your gear a little bit. Looks like you're shooting one of the new Matthews bows. Talk about your accessories.
Right, I've got the Matthews TRX-8. I'm shooting a CBE sight with a Shibuya scope, Easton stabilizers from the front and the back. The Contour CS provides me with a little bit better ability to aim in the wind, so that's something I really like. And yeah, that's my stuff.
Is the wind bad in here today?
No, it's actually pretty nice. The AC vents are off. It's getting a little stuffy.
Okay. All right, let's start our second end here. 33-32.
And so these guys are coming into their second end now. Jacob with a 1-point advantage over Braden. Braden is was the next highest qualifier. He would have been the 3rd place qualifier. Jacob absolutely center punches that one.
We can just see there's very high level of competition here. Braden very steady under pressure. You don't see his sight moving. You don't see his stabilizer moving. He's very, very steady.
Braden with a solid X there, just a little bit of the left side. Look how stable that is. It's not even moving. Center punched X. Jacob really on fire.
And you can see, I mean, he's not super ruffled here. Jacob, you know, seems to be taking a few deep shots, or excuse me, a few deep breaths with each shot. You know, very characteristic modesty for Jacob Marlow. He's a really kind guy, you know, a real gentleman, and so you don't see a lot of showboating from him. But he seems pretty calm out there for such a young guy.
Jacob's laid down another 33. That puts 4, 8, 10 ends. Out of the last 10 ends, he's only missed 3 X's.
Okay. Jacob ran the table again. Nice looking in down there, all donuts. You must like donuts.
Actually, I've been like eating healthier, so I haven't had a donut in a while, but I'd really want one.
We love hearing from you, dude. What other Marlowisms do you have?
I mean, nothing that's appropriate for out here. Nothing that I can say on microphone anyway. But if you know me, you know about what I would say.
Okay, great. Oh, we love the humor of how you're dealing with the tension here. All right, we've got 66-64 match going. Jacob has a two-point lead. Chooses to shoot first.
Jacob keeping the crowd laughing, and you know, a lot of times, Chuck, humor diffuses a tense situation, and that's especially true in archery when coaches look to help athletes to figure out how to manage nerves in a high-pressure competition situation like this. Anything from deep breathing to mentally reciting a song lyric, counting backwards, or finding a way to laugh is something to take that pressure off.
Yeah, anything to distract the brain from what's going on right now. And the fact is, you know, he's about ready to knock out Braden Gellenthien, who was the number 3 qualifier.
Now, this is a part of the reason that archery can be such a tough sport at this level. Certainly a very easy and fun sport for everybody to get involved in, but at the very top levels of the sport, the reason this competition is so challenging is these archers have to strike a balance between wanting to hold their pin, their aiming device, very steady in the center of the target, but still execute a good shot. What is that balancing act like?
It's a lot of trust. It's a lot of trust. And Jacob lays down another 33 there. And by trust, that means you have to trust that the pin's going to be there and the arrow's going to land behind it. And you allow the arrow, your brain allows the arrow to leave the bow. Braden lays down a 33.
Perfect end there. Braden, if I can, I know that you are beginning a new business venture we're really excited about. You've been talking to Ted and our media team with. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. I'm partnering with Matthew Crook, Dahlia's dad, and we're creating Archery on Demand, which is basically going to end up being the golf channel, but for archery. So we're in the process of talking to wonderful sponsors like Lancaster Archery and starting an initial pilot program to start monitoring how effective we can be at spreading the word of archery and increasing the knowledge and hopefully get a lot more people involved in both tournament archery and just leagues and just loving the sport like we all do.
Thank you so much for your work. Let's give Braden a hand for his work in promoting the sport of archery. Be sure to check that out. What is the address? Where can you look that up? In shops, or what's the website if you have one?
Right now it's archeryod.com, and yes, hopefully coming to a shop near you.
Very good. Thank you. You can see it at Lancaster Archery Supply, by the way, in our showroom. Okay. We have got 99-97, 2-point lead for Jacob Marlow. Jacob, you choose to shoot first?
So Jacob's shooting first, Chuck, and you know, he's going to try to put a little bit more pressure on Braden here. He's got a 2-point lead. As long as he's consistent, he should have this match in the bag.
He really should. Out of the last 11 scoring ends, he's only missed the 11 3 times. 44 arrows. 44 arrows. He's only missed it 3 times.
Which is crazy consistency, and he is not looking tired at all. He's looking very refreshed for somebody who's been shooting for quite a long time.
Another dead center 11. And this match, unless something really tragic happens with Jacob here, this match will be out of reach for Braden.
A little bit of shaking there, but
Ooh, that's a 10.
Drops it out.
Manages to catch that 10, and Braden cannot catch him at this time.
Still, Braden's challenge here is to make a really good shot, walk out on a high note. Nice shooting, catches the 11. Class act, Braden Gellenthien.
Braden, that's good for 4th place, $2,000. Nice shooting, a real strong finish there. Congratulations. And thank you so much for coming to another Lancaster Archery Classic. Braden and I have known each other for a number of years. He and his dad, seen him grow up in this sport. And there's not a finer, more upstanding person than Braden Gellenthien. Certainly proud to see our logo on his back. Thank you so much for representing us so well in all your travels. Thank you, Braden. A hand for Braden Gellenthien.
Great shooting by Braden Gellenthien, and as Rob said, just one of the most talented guys out there, and also a class act, a really nice person, true professional as he leaves the stage.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to leave him, and I forgot to mention during the match, and this is really an important thing, you know, to show Braden's dedication to the sport and to Lancaster Archery. He was actually the very first Lancaster Classic champion way back in 2004. So, you know, Braden's relationship with Rob goes way, way back, and it's certainly great to see him still supporting the event and still out here. Just sad to see him exit so quickly. But Jacob's been on a tear. Jacob now comes up against a teammate, Chance Beaubouef, who's a perennial podium finisher here at this event. He won this in 2009 as well.
Absolutely. All right, Chance, welcome to the stage.
So we'll see if Chance can lay anything down against Jacob. Jacob's absolutely been on a tear here. Chance was our number 2 qualifier. Jacob, if you remember, was our number 5 qualifier and has shot his way all the way through the bracket. Steve and I touched on this during our commentary, that this is extremely rare to see a guy go this long, this deep into the bracket.
Chance opens up with a really strong shot with an 11. He's known as one of the steadiest archers out there. He has been out there shooting at a very high level for many, many years. So Jacob is certainly challenging one of the sport's best. Chance is no newcomer. This is not his first rodeo. Jacob's going to have his hands a little full with this one.
Chance, very experienced in tournament archery, indoors and out. He's a Vegas champion. He was on the U.S. World Team, U.S. National Team. He's traveled internationally, mostly known as a 3D guy these days, but no slouch at all when it comes to paper. He can lay down perfect rounds with almost at will. And so Jacob and Chance here will for sure be putting together a fantastic shoot.
A little long on the hold there, a little shaking at the end, but it doesn't stop him. He still clips the 11.
Lays down a 33. Chance is known as an extremely long holder. Really puts together a great round.
TOG Elite on stage. Great show, guys. Super solid. Feeling good up there?
Yeah, a little, got a little bit of nerves, but it feels good. Everything's feeling good.
It's looking great. Tell us about your gear, Chance.
Well, I do the whole TOG brands as far as the bow, the sight, the release, as far as Scott CB. I run in Shrewd bars, the QAD air rest, and gold tip arrows.
Very good. What release are you shooting?
The Focus.
The Focus.
It's a back tension hinge style release.
It's a back tension hinge style release like most of the guys are shooting here. Very good. Thank you. All right. Got an all tie 33s. Tie match. Chance, your choice, shoot first or second? First.
So Chance elects to shoot first, and again, he wants to go in, putting a really decisive 11 downrange, sending a message to Jacob Marlow that he's got a bar to reach.
Absolutely, and this is what we expected out of Chance for sure, and Jacob, that these guys would be laying down perfect rounds. Absolutely super steady right there. Center punches the 11.
This is a guy who's not afraid to get back there and hold a little bit and really just keep his pin nice and steady as he continues to execute his shot. He has no nerves, but Jacob looks pretty calm too, and he manages to catch that 11. Oh, they're calling it a 10.
Rob's
Maybe
calling
not.
that just out from the microphone up there. Chance, on the other hand, he's the guy who will stand there and wait and wait and wait for that shot to break. And Chance is able to capitalize on that miss from Jacob, and that might be the only crack we see in this armor.
So the question is always, when an archer shoots an arrow that doesn't go the way they want it to, how well do they recover? That's the true mark of a champion in archery. Can they get their head together quickly? Jacob Marlow seems to have done that. Let's see if Chance lets up or not.
Ooh, that's a 10. He just hung that 10. We're back to a tie match now.
And I'm still not convinced that arrow is completely out. I think we'll see a little bit later.
Looks like a tie match. 42 apiece. It's a great show. Almost perfect, but a great show. A lot of drama. Love it. I see Vortex on your back. What optics do you normally run for 3D? Let's say for target archery.
The Razor HDs 10x42s.
Very nice. You like those optics?
Love them. Best glass I've had in my hands.
Very good, very good. We want to thank Vortex Optics for their support here. Riley is an archer, and they design optics for archers. And we really appreciate their sponsor, the LAS Classic. Okay, let's go over here. We love talking to Jacob, don't we, crowd? All right. What's Jacob got to say?
I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. So, like, words aren't coming to my mouth real easy because Chance is pretty good.
Pretty good? Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. Yeah, he's okay.
Well, he's from the South, too. You're from Tennessee, aren't you, Chance? Yeah. Nashville, Tennessee, Chance is from, his hometown. And Jacob says he's pretty good. I would have to agree with him. Okay, 65 all. And Chance, you retain your choice of first or second? First.
I got to believe that the way social media works these days, that we're going to see hashtag you're pretty good coming out of some memes and coming out of some comments. Jacob's going to own that one. You're pretty good.
Chance just steady like a rock right now. Let's see if he can manage to put them all in the 11, which he has to do because Jacob is really shooting well today.
Absolutely center punches that one.
Jacob Marlow, so impressive. He has been out here shooting now, I think, was this his third or fourth match, Chuck, and he is not showing any sign of fatigue right now. Really speaks to the fact that this is clearly a young man who practices a lot. He takes preparation seriously.
Yeah, his first match was Logan Wilde, then Jesse Broadwater, then Braden Gellenthien, and now Chance. So this is his fourth match. And whoever wins this match, that's probably going to be a 10. Whoever wins this match is going to run up against Mike Schloesser from the Netherlands.
And Mike is going to be a very tough competitor. It's going to take somebody very, very good to beat him. Ooh, I think he caught that one.
Yeah, he's saying the top edge of the 11 on that. You see Chance flip the bow up so he can get a grip on the sight. Maybe make a couple of clicks of adjustment there.
Jacob has got to shoot an 11 here if he wants any hope of staying alive in this match.
And he got it.
Rolled the eyes a little bit, wasn't super thrilled. Let's see what Rob has to say.
Jacob, you had a little issue with your arrow coming off your arrow rest there. You made quick work of it. What'd you do? How'd you get that up on there?
Oh, I just grab it, the veins with my mouth and move it up on there. It's probably not safe, but I don't know. It's probably something I shouldn't do, not on TV, but oh well.
Because I was looking, the arrow came off, and I was looking, you didn't use your left hand at all. And I was wondering how you did that. I couldn't see from my angle.
No, I don't want to use my hand because I'm worried it'll mess up my hand placement on my grip, so I never really wanted to ever use my fingers.
In general, it's best to let a shot like that down, but of course, with the timing here, that can jam you up on the clock. And bottom line is, Jacob found a way to make it happen and get the shot off. So, congratulations for that. I notice, Chance, you're shooting gold tip arrows. What weight are you running in your points?
250 grains.
250 grains. And I ask these questions so that y'all know at home, a lot of these guys will run 200 to 250 and an extra long arrow. With these large diameter carbon arrows or aluminum arrows, you don't want to cut them short. You want to leave them plenty long and shoot a lot of point weight. How much weight are you running in your Black Eagle Magnums?
It's 200 grains in the front of a 300 spine.
There you go. Got a long draw length.
Yeah.
All right. Chance is leading. Last end.
So Chance is going to lead going into this last end, and we noticed that, you know, when we were talking about how the arrows are landing and whether or not they're catching the line, the arrows, as they go through the paper, they tear a hole, and we want to make sure that we can see the line to score that arrow and make sure it's touching the next highest line. You see a really long hold out of Chance here. Again, nobody gets too panicky about that because Chance normally is well known for a long holder.
Here comes Jacob, and he's still looking pretty solid behind the bow, and he nails that 11.
Center punches that one. They didn't change these targets out. Several of the times before, they had changed the targets out at the third end just because the edges of the target had been torn up quite a bit. But these guys are eating the centers out of it.
Ooh, that's a big miss. Out to the left side, and a 9.
Jacob completely needed that to stay in the match. And he's going to capitalize with an 11. And that's going to leave Chance 1 point down. He absolutely needs an 11 here. And then he has to hope Jacob hits a 10 to stay in the match for a shoot-off.
Absolutely. He knows it. He's under that pressure. A little shake from him. And he's out.
That's another 9. Maybe a 10.
And there's the mental game at work, folks. And certainly we don't want to presume about one of these great archers. But
wow, what a team.
Wow, what a match. What a match. Well, Chance, sorry you'll be leaving us, but as a parting gift, $4,000 from Lancaster Archery for third place bronze medal finish and $1,500 in contingency from Elite. Congratulations, still not a bad weekend.
Thank you very much, Rob. You always do a great job here with the tournament, and I look forward to coming back.
Well, you hung tough till those last few arrows.
I had that and got away from me a little bit. I was trying to be patient with it, but it got me.
Well, this is a tough stage, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. And if you have anything you need to work on, it'll definitely bring it out.
Well, you'll be ready for Vegas, won't you?
Yes, hopefully. I've got a week and a half to work on it.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Let's give Chance Beaubouef a hand. Next archer needs no introduction, Mike Schloesser.
Here comes Magic Mike, one of the best shooters out there, Mr. Perfect, because he does not miss. Former world record, actually I think current world record holder indoors with a record that will stand pretty much forever. Chuck?
What was your qualification score on Friday?
58X.
58X, very nice. Shot obviously well through your elimination rounds. Did you have some challenges there?
All my matches were challenging and keep me focused.
How's your weekend going here at the LAS Classic? Obviously, you're here as the top-ranked archer, so it's going very well. How does this stage compare to other international events that you've been on? You've been on the top stages all over the world.
It's really similar. It looks really good. It doesn't do less than the other ones.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, we'll get things started. Do you choose to shoot first or second? First. Okay.
So we have got Mr. Perfect up here, and why is he called Mr. Perfect? Because he holds the indoor world record, I believe, with a 600 out of 600 indoors in world archery competition. That is a record that will stand forever, Chuck. He is a phenomenal shooter under pressure.
Yeah, he was the first one to do it, and now that's FIDE scoring. Now, remember, that's world archery. When you say a 600 in world archery, that's that inner 10, that inner X, which we're currently scoring as 11. But when they do it on the world stage, that little teeny tiny X only counts as 10 points, and they have to use a smaller arrow than what these guys are using here today. So that feat, to be able to shoot that little tiny X 60 times in a row in one competition without a break is really a feat that's just unmatched in archery.
Both of these archers very consistent. This is the first time I believe that they have met, although they may have met here previously, Chuck, and you would know that, I'm not sure. But to see Jacob Marlow and Mike Schloesser on the same stage is really a treat for archery fans everywhere, as well as those new to the sport, because Mike is such a phenomenal shooter, and of course, hailing from the Netherlands.
Absolutely. I haven't seen these guys shoot face-to-face like this or back-to-back in a shoot-off style. Jacob's really putting on a show today. He came from the 5th position, shot another 33.
Beginnings of an epic battle here that's worthy of the LAS Classic in the men's pro division. Nice shooting, gentlemen. How are you feeling, Mike?
Pretty good. Feels good, sir.
Very nice, very nice. Let's talk about your gear. I see you're shooting one of the new Hoyts. Tell us about the rest of your gear.
I'm shooting the Sport Hawk Brass, the Excel side. Use the fuse stabilization, the 10-zone scope.
Very nice. I see, yeah, fuse stabilizers. And what release are you running?
I'm using the Target 4 from Carter.
Carter Target 4, very nice. See, you're using 2712 Easton aluminum arrows. Okay, we'll continue. You'll have the choice of shooting first or second, Mike?
First.
Okay. Mike's leading off, shooting first.
Mike's got a lot of arrows left in him.
Absolutely. We want to welcome you back. This is the gold medal match, the final match of the day at the 2017 Lancaster Archery Classic. We're here at the Trueball XL Archery Hall in the Spooky Nook Sports Complex just outside of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This live feed brought to you by Hoyt Archery, and the live scoring is brought to you by Dead Center Archery Products. That's available through the archers.com website. Jacob Marlow is the man on the right in the blue, and Mike Schloesser from the Netherlands is in the red. He was your #1 qualifier. These guys are in their second end of competition now to decide who's going to take home the gold and who's going to take home the big prize. First place is $15,000. Sixth place is second place is $6,000. Now, Jacob has a little extra on the line because Elite has thrown an extra $12,500 at it. So Jacob has a huge payday on the line if he can pull this out. And he has come from the 5th position to shoot against Mike Schloesser here.
Looks like, you had a few shots that didn't look like your normal shots that time. They still went right in there. It looks like things are settling down for you, I hope.
Yeah, the shots didn't break in the exact middle, so it's been on the edge, so need to help them in a bit. Steer them in.
Bo Kwon-do, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Very nice job. Kept it clean with 11s. And Jacob, how you doing, bud?
Well, I missed one. I shouldn't have missed it, but oh well.
All right. We love it, Jacob. My daughter is just like you, dude. All right. Halftime here. We got 66-65, 1 point lead for Mike Schloesser.
Chuck, 3,000 viewers tuned in right now to this broadcast. We are so excited to see the love for archery, for the Lancaster Archery Classic. We're here in the Trueball XL Archery Hall. We are on the Hoyt Live broadcast, and we are in the final arrows of this gold medal final, and this is a crazy match.
This is really what we wanted to see towards the end of the day. We wanted to see two of the best archers in the world dueling it out X for X, and Jacob Marlow is really kind of the talk of the day. He started in the 5th position, 5th qualifier, and worked his way all the way through now to the gold medal match against Mike Schloesser. And they're both laying down center 11s here.
Such good shooting, and at this point, you really have to say that this is only going to change if somebody drops one, because it doesn't seem apparent that anybody will.
Ooh. Jacob with a big miss there, and that's against Mike Schloesser with only 4 arrows to go.
That could be
That's
the
going to be a
match.
tough match, tough hole to climb out of.
This may be a big paycheck for Mike Schloesser. We'll have to see what happens next with Jacob's arrow here.
He's got to shoot the 11 to stay tight in the match. And he
And he
does.
does.
He answers well. So they're going to have 3 arrows when we come back on the other side of this.
Mike, they don't call you Mr. Perfect for nothing. That's nice looking shooting there, 99.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Feeling settling in, so
Those 3 shots looked very nice.
thank you.
Jacob, you're still shooting very well. You got a chance, you got one end here to put them in there and see what happens.
Yeah, but I missed another one.
All right. How did you get started in target archery?
My dad has just always kind of shot when I was growing up, so it's kind of joined in that way.
Excellent, excellent. Did you start shooting 3Ds or bow hunting?
I started shooting 3Ds and started hunting a lot a few years, not even that long ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago is when I really started hunting a lot, and just kind of started shooting target archery a couple tournaments a year, but mostly 3D.
How old are you, Jacob?
I turned 21 a few months ago.
Jacob is 21. Let's give this young man a hand.
So we've
Okay,
seen
and here we are coming into the last 3 arrows of the match. Sorry about that. I stepped right on you again, Teresa.
That's okay.
Jacob with a 2-point deficit. He's got to try to make up against one of the world's best archers, Mike Schloesser. That's going to be a tall order.
Let's just be clear here that Mike has not missed the 11 yet in this match. Now, that's the advantage of being the #1 seed. He was fresh coming onto the stage. Jacob's been shooting, for quite a while this afternoon. So, but still, we're seeing very little sign of fatigue from Jacob Marlow. We've got to see 3 11s from Jacob Marlow at this point if he has any chance of staying alive, and Schloesser has to drop one. We'll drop 2, actually.
He's hit the 11 there, so unless something really awful happens, the match is in hand for Schloesser.
And this is a big, big payday. This is a world-class event with a
Center
huge
punch, Jacob.
prize on the line. One more arrow. Can he execute under pressure?
If he hits the 11 here, it's over.
Ooh, little
And he
shake, but
does.
he does it. This is
And
his
so Mike Schloesser
prize.
will win the 2017 Lancaster Classic, and Jacob finishes it out strong with an 11.
Great shooting.
That's exactly what we were looking for.
Nice shooting, both of you. I want to congratulate you, Jacob. You've been a pleasure to have up here. I love your story. You take away $6,000 for a silver medal, second place at the LAS Classic, and $3,500 in contingency from Elite. I'm sure with other contingencies, it'll go over 10 grand for the weekend. Not a bad weekend's work. Let's give Jacob a hand. Congratulations. At 21 years of age, we'll see Jacob for many more years. What do you got to say?
I missed 2. Mikey didn't.
This is a simple sport, folks. We love it. That's why we love it. Mr. Perfect 132, our 2017 Lancaster Archery Classic champion. Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, you came the whole way from over in Europe here. I hope that we have other archers from all over the world come to this event. Again, what would you tell those folks that may be considering it for next year?
Just make it here. It's an awesome shoot, and you will learn a lot. Why not?
Very good. Well, for your efforts, you take $15,000 home from us. In addition, $4,000 in Hoyt contingency, and I'm sure other contingencies as well. Your pay for day for the weekend should exceed $20,000. Congratulations on an awesome weekend. Very good. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming to this shoot-off, and I want to take a moment to give a special, special thank you to our sponsors for the Lancaster Archery Classic, and also to our staff for helping out all weekend here at the Lancaster Archery Classic. Thank you so much to the staff and the team at Lancaster Archery Supply.
Wow, what an amazing ending. That's exactly what we wanted to see.
Such a great event, Chuck. So
Wow.
exciting. Non-stop, fantastic shooting from Mike Schloesser, our champion here, 132. Perfect score from Mr. Perfect.
Jacob Marlow did not make it easy on anybody, coming up 5 different matches that he had to shoot through to get to this, to get to the gold medal match.
Absolutely
amazing.
outstanding.
Nobody ever really thought that you could go through that many matches and still make it to the gold. So big props to Jacob. Big props to Mike Schloesser as well. We're going to come back in just a couple of minutes and close out this Lancaster Classic 2017. Again, we're here at the Trueball Axel Archery Hall at Spooky Nook Sports Complex. This is the Hoyt Live broadcast with live scoring from Dead Center. And wow, Teresa,
What a day.
What a day! What an event! We came to a new location this year, the Spooky Nook Sports Complex here just outside of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. 17 acres under one roof, 750,000 square feet. They have all kinds of sports, everything you can do here. And of course, we had a world-class archery event, and the shooting and the spectators and the lighting and everything was fantastic.
Absolutely a world-class venue for these archers. The audience was treated to an archery showdown. This was a great way for people to get introduced to the sport of archery. This, of course, was the very elite, the top level of the sport. But the reality is this is a sport that everyone out there can try. You just need to get to your closest pro shop, pick up a bow that fits you, and start shooting arrows. You may one day be on a great stage like this one.
You know, I think it was really important and really cool that we got to watch this weekend. We got to watch the kids. We got to watch the seniors. We got to watch the adults, not just professionals. We got to see some common faces, guys that you see at your local clubs and your local ranges. They got to be out on this stage, and they got to share the spotlight with some of the best archers in the world. And I think that's really important, that we give back to everybody, not just the pros at the top of the game.
Absolutely. We saw compound bow shooters, we saw Olympic recurve shooters, we saw bare bow and traditional shooters, people of all ages. It was a fantastic shoot and definitely a world-class venue here.
I think you guys need to make sure that you're on board to come to this event next
Yes.
year. We had 1,100 shooters here. I think we could pack a couple of thousand in here without any problem at all. This facility definitely has the room for it. Lancaster Archery has the commitment for it. We want to make sure we thank, obviously, I want to thank you for being here in the booth with me. It made it really, really special this weekend. We have some very special sponsors. Obviously, it's the Trueball Axel Archery Hall. Hoyt provided all the live video. Dead Center Archery Products did the live scoring. Carbon Express sponsored the practice hall. And then, of course, Matthews was on board, Black Eagle, Bee Stinger, Last Chance, Easton, Scott, CBE, Bloodsport, Prime, PSE, Big Shot, Target, Shrewd, SKB, BCY, Limb Saver, Elite, Vortex, Cartel, Win and Win, Biter, Shibuya, Top Hat. Who am I forgetting?
So many companies
Carter.
involved in making this a great Blue Ridge Cable, the production company that was here this weekend. Thank you so much. And of course, the Kaufhold family, Lancaster Archery Supply, and their incredible staff.
Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you check this out on LancasterArchery.com. Teresa, thank you very much. We'll see you guys next year from the Lancaster
care.
Classic.